Okay, well, I mean, we could go on all day, but I recognize you're busy, so I just have a couple more questions. Because as you know, 12 by 12 is a group primarily of picture book writers, although there are a lot of poets and illustrators, and it's quite a diverse group. You've written picture books, rhyming picture books, as well as collections of poetry. How do you This is sort of like the same chicken and egg question again, but do you sometimes find that you've written a poem that you think can be a picture book? Or do you usually set out to write a picture book as, with the whole story?
Right. I set out to write a picture book, and sometimes it wants to rhyme. When cows come home at the end of the day, they chew their cuds and gently sway and switch their tails in a cow-like way when cows come home at the end of the day. But when farmer looks the other way, cows take off on a holiday. You never saw such cow horseplay when farmer looks the other way. Well, that's not a poem. It's a story that rhymes, and I recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
In that particular one, every rhyme in the entire book is the same rhyme. It's an A rhyme. So that beginning readers may or may not know the word, but they know what it sounds like. So but I didn't plan that. Usually that was a happenstance. It just felt good. That's all. On the other hand, I don't think I've ever written a poem long enough that would translate into a picture book. Some people do, but one of the things I was told by Kent Brown way back was, the kids don't like long poems, make them short. So, okay, kid. Because of that, my collections of poetry are collections. They're not just one poem stretched out. And I don't suppose I'll ever do anything differently.
And yet, we talked about themes of poetry collections, but even in a theme, not all of your books are like this, but with Cowboys, again, this is a collection of poems, but it also tells a story. Because it's got a beginning and a middle and an end.
Same with Pirates.
So you can do that too.
I was telling these kids I just mentioned earlier in this talk that they need to be looking for the story. I said, we who make the books for you are very aware of the importance of having that arc, that somewhere to start that makes sense and go somewhere with it and end with something that's logical. I said that's just as true in nonfiction, and I read to them from 2 or 3 of my nonfiction books and how it got started and how it tells a story of some kind and pulls the reader in. Well, the same is true of Cowboys. The first poem is about an older cowboy trying to decide talking about whether or not to sign up for another trail ride. And it ends with them coming into town with the cows. They've made it all the way up Chisholm Trail, and some young buck is coming in looking like he just brought the whole herd in by himself, and they're kind of laughing up their sleeve and look at the kid over there like he did it all by himself. Well, there's a story to it.
Right. And it takes you on that journey with the Cowboys.
Correct.
Yeah.